All right. Welcome back to No Filter MMA. We are here for a live discussion. It is me currently and Brandon from MMA Freaks, the best Facebook MMA page discussion group on Facebook. So, guys, if you are not a part of uh, MMA Freaks, if you are not joining MMA Freaks, then you need to get there because you're missing out on some good discussion. And they're right, Brandon.
It's true. And we appreciate the content you put out there too, BJ.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Hey, we do our own thing. So, hey, man, we got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff we want to talk about tonight, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in the MMA world, and we're just gonna throw our little 2 cents out there, man. You cool with that, Brandon?
Oh yeah, there's a lot to talk about lately.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, all right. Comment section says, "Can't see you, BJ." Oh, I meant for you not to see me. This is more about. This is more about the.
Discussion.
This is. It's more about the discussion than it is seeing me. So you're just gonna have to deal with me with listening to me. So starting off, man, I just want to start off by saying, man, 229 delivered, man. What do you think?
That was a solid card. It definitely did
Man,
not disappoint.
we've been getting some good MMA cards going on. I mean, the Bellator cards are jumping right now. The UFC
Everything's
cards are
been
jumping right
delivering.
now. Man, I'm telling you, everybody's delivering
PFL
right
coming to a
now.
close, and they were pretty good.
Say that one more time.
PFL is even coming to a close, but man, they were pretty good. They delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. PFL, absolutely. Oh yeah. Um, and then also we got Invicta coming up, big championship fight for the featherweight title. Felicia Spencer versus Pam Bam Sorensen. So you guys know
Pam.
Pam Bam's been on here before. We're gonna try to get Pam Bam back on. That'll be our first active championship. That'll be our first active champion interview. So most definitely, guys, we got to get that back. But first of all, I want to start off, Brandon. What is your thoughts on Eddie Alvarez leaving the UFC?
You know, at first I didn't think he was going to do it, but I think he wants to go out where he thinks he can be on top, and he's got the good money to leave on. Not going to take too much more damage because he's been in some wars.
Yeah, man. I mean, especially the Justin Gaethje fight. I mean,
And then
wow.
those two fights with Poirier,
Yeah, man. That
and then that Connor fight, he took a lot of damage as well.
he did. He did.
Nothing
So
against Eddie, dude's awesome.
I mean, do you think Eddie was just outmatched though in the UFC?
I don't want to say
Like his
outmatched. I think it
style?
was just his style
Yeah, yeah. And I think I
because he
think
was a
I see.
champ.
I think the same thing will happen to Justin Gaethje in due time, though. You know,
Definitely.
because Justin Gaethje, man, he can't bang his way through every fight.
It
You know
takes
what
a
I'm saying?
technical striker to beat him.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you want to
If
brawl with
you,
him, have fun.
yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't brawl with Justin Gaethje because that's what he
Uh-uh.
wants. But
Exactly.
you know,
He's gonna probably win that.
any type of technique, you're gonna beat Justin Gaethje. First off, let's start off with a couple fight announcements and re-announcements. The first fight I wanted to talk about. How do you feel about the Valentina Shevchenko debacle with
Oh, that
fighting,
was interesting to
going from
say the
fighting?
least.
Yeah, man. I mean, going from fighting Joanna, well, actually going from fighting Nico to fighting Joanna to fighting Eubanks, and now back to fighting Joanna Young Jacek. What you think, Brandon?
So here's my take on that. As a division standpoint for 125, I think her Val fighting Eubanks is best for the division because Eubanks is a number one contender. She was supposed to fight for the title after Tough. She couldn't make weight. She came and beat Murphy, who was on her way back to the top of that division for
Right.
probably a title eliminator. For the
Yeah.
division, it makes sense to fight Eubanks. But as for UFC, looking for a bigger fight, money wise and everything, Ioana just makes much more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And that seemed, and I had a feeling that that fight wasn't going to stick, and a
It was
lot of people
odd.
gave. Yeah, I know, man. It was an odd series of events, man. But one thing that was crazy was, people gave Sajara Eubanks a lot of flack for being upset when that fight got taken away from her. I mean, according to the UFC, there's not a lot, and according to Valentina's management, there's not a lot of girls, quote unquote, saying That there's a lot of girls saying they don't want to fight Valentina, which I don't believe that to be true because I've seen plenty of flyweights say I will fight Valentina, but the only thing Sijara Eubanks did was say yes. So what do you think was the big backlash for her being upset for, that was the biggest payday of her life, biggest fight of her life. She could have been a champion. So, I mean, what do you think, Brandon?
I mean, I understand why she's upset about it. She got offered the fight, she accepted. She should get the fight, but at the same time, she's got to understand she's not in the position to call the shots. And
Right.
Joanna's a much bigger fight for many
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah. But I mean,
But
she's
she's
getting
still
to,
on the card.
yeah, isn't she fighting Jessica I? I mean,
I
not
think she's
Jessica
fighting
I,
Roxanne.
Roxanne Modafferi. Yeah, yeah,
That's gonna
that's
be a
going to be
good
a good
fight.
fight. But
Definitely could
she's
be a
already,
title eliminator.
yeah, along with Jessica I versus Caitlin Chukagian.
That is definitely a one to watch in that division is Jessica I. Everyone says she
Yeah.
doesn't is not a title shot competitor, but she was fighting at 135 and very undersized.
Yes. Yes.
And she's fought
Very.
some of the best.
She has. Yep. Jessica I is a sleeper. And a lot of people are
She
sleeping on
is.
Jessica I just because she lost a lot of fights at bantamweight,
She,
you know?
and she lost. She had that decision with that draw with Betch Kohea, which was just odd to see a draw for one. I thought she
Yeah.
won,
I thought she
but you
did
could just
too.
tell she was undersized.
And she had a war with Misha Tate.
Hmm
I
She had.
mean, she
She's got
had,
some durability.
yeah, yeah. And Jessica I's got good stand up too.
Very
So
underrated
yeah,
stand up.
yeah.
Good
This is
ground
gonna
game
be
with her
interesting.
wrestling.
Say what?
She's got some good wrestling.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, she did the submission underground against Misha Tate too.
Did she? I must have missed that one. I never heard about that.
Yeah, it was just a little like right after Misha retired, she did a grappling tournament, and the only person that would grapple with her was Jessica I. So Jessica I went in there and they had fun, man. It was great. You gotta go back and watch that sometime.
I'll
But
have to check that one out.
absolutely. So yeah, you got Chukagian versus I, and you got Eubanks versus Modafferi, and then you got Joanna versus Valentina. So
A
those are
lot of good
three.
fights for that division coming up.
Yeah, absolutely,
About
man.
time.
100%. Um, so I'm gonna move on to the next fight that I want to talk about, man. What do you think about Kat Zingano going to 145 to fight Megan Anderson?
That's a fight. I can't wait.
I mean, that's a whew.
For many
Ugh.
reasons.
Yeah, but the thing that rubs me the wrong way about that fight is Megan Anderson was the main one. She was the main one saying you should fight girls that's in your division. And I understand that there's not many girls at 145 right now until Tough is over. You know what I'm saying? Until the Ultimate
Yeah.
Fighter is over, there's not many girls at 145. But then Megan turns around in the same breath and calls out Kat Zingano, knowing Kat Zingano is going to fight. You know what I'm saying? So
So let
and
me
then she
ask
turns around and
this.
calls. Go ahead.
Does Kat cut a lot of weight to make 135? I know she doesn't have
Um,
issues making it, but does she cut a
no,
lot?
Kat. I've never heard of Kat having issues making weight. I've
Yeah, I
never
didn't think she had
once heard
issues,
that.
but she just seems like she's a bit bigger for 135.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Because
Kat can be.
her and Nunes are pretty close to the same size, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I think Nunez has a little bit more of a reach on Kat, but as far as
Yeah.
like height and body wise, yeah, Kat Zingano is not a small 135.
Wow. It'll be interesting to see her without that weight cut at 45. She definitely looks a lot more refreshed. Did you ever listen to her on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Yes.
It was a very factual episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Kat interviews very well. She
I
does.
definitely think she has what it takes to beat Megan, but I also
Yeah,
see Megan
man.
beating her too.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, like when you put two different styles like that against each other, striker versus grappler, but you have a grappler in Kat Zingano who has a background training in Muay Thai. So Kat's not scared to stand and trade, but Kat has, and Megan's 6 foot tall, and
She's a big girl.
Kat has that lethal body kick. Like Kat
Megan has
Zingano's
some
her leg.
vicious elbows and knees too.
Yeah, dude, Kat Zingano, her body kicks and her leg kicks are and her elbows, dude. Everything. Kat can go anywhere in a fight,
She did beat
and that's kind
Nunes.
of, yeah, I know, right? But you see, if Kat, you see what Kat just done to Marion Renault. If Kat can get Megan Anderson to the ground, it's over for Megan.
Definitely, because
Like,
she got a much better ground game than Holly.
yes, and
So we're talking about
and
Megan Holly. You saw what Megan did to Holly in the first
I
opening minute before
did,
she got taken
I
down.
yeah, I did. I
I
mean, she
think
landed.
if Kat can stay away, she's got that just like Holly. She's gonna follow the same game plan.
Yeah, she's gonna have to. That's the only way you can
Uh
neutralize
huh.
Megan
That
Anderson.
reach is huge.
Yes. And I think that I think I told you guys this, man. As far as Kat Zingano is concerned, when it comes to 145, dude, when nobody else was wanting to fight Cyborg, Kat Zingano was one of the ones saying, "I'm not afraid to fight Cyborg."
She straight up
So
volunteered.
she did, and
Who else does that?
Kat. So what?
Who else does that?
Right. And Kat Zingano, man, like the thing with Kat is, you can in a fight, you can never count Kat out. You know what I'm
Uh-uh.
saying? And Kat was able to survive the swarm of Amanda Nunes. I don't know how she would match up as far as Cyborg, because Kat would be
Ooh.
she would be really undersized against Cyborg.
Yeah, because
But
Cyborg cuts a lot to make 45.
yeah, she does. But dude, one thing that if they ever made that matchup with Kat versus Cyborg, one thing we would know about Kat Zingano is
Her
she's gonna
durability.
fight. She's gonna fight. Like
Yep.
Kat's gonna get in there and she's gonna fight. So, I'm kind of on the fence with the Megan Kat fight though, because that fight, Megan could easily knock Kat out, and Kat could easily, could possibly take Megan down and just ground and pound her out, dude. I mean,
I'm gonna go with Cat by decision or sub, but I'm not like confident on that pick.
yeah, I'm not confident on either pick though. If
That
you
fight
pick me,
is
if
interesting.
dude, if you pick Megan, it's like, and if you pick Cat, it's like, I don't know, So
Yep.
it can go either way, man. It can go either way.
It's
So
definitely a
anyway,
fight.
so after 229, we know the brawl happened after
Oh
229.
boy.
Khabib
Yeah.
tapped out. There was a bunch of shit talking back and forth. But the first thing I want to ask is, what did you think about Khabib threatening to leave the UFC, and what would that have done to the UFC, bro?
You know, honestly, a lot of people were arguing with me about that. A lot of people said that'd be a huge loss for the UFC. I just don't see it. He's not a huge moneymaker. He's not a huge draw. They're not losing somebody like, say, Connor or somebody who makes money.
Right.
He's a somewhat of a draw. I mean, he's the Russian superstar, but he's not
Yeah,
like he doesn't have that huge following like Connor. Connor has the Irish, he has the American, he's got everybody.
he does.
I don't think
He
Khabib
does.
will leave, but if he did, I don't think Dana would bat an eye, to be honest.
You know, I thought that at first. I said if he was to leave, that would put the UFC in a debacle. But knowing Dana White, Dana White would be like, to hell with him. But you know
Right.
what I got excited for? I got excited when I started hearing rumors of Bellator with seeing headlines with Bellator and Khabib in the same
Oh,
sentence.
at first I was like that. I was like, ugh, I don't want to see that. But then I thought, huh, Michael Chandler versus Khabib.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I started thinking too.
And
Michael
Michael
Chandler.
Chandler said he's the only one on planet Earth who can beat Khabib.
Well, a lot of people
You know,
said that.
if you think about it, it's an interesting matchup because
It
he
is.
definitely has the wrestling to back away and keep the distance. He might be a little tad undersized, but he's got that striking too.
Yeah, he does have the striking. But as we can see, as we saw with Connor,
Khabib's
can't
striking is
can't
definitely improving fight by fight. Still
see,
not the
and that's the
best, but
thing.
it's definitely improved.
And see, Brandon, I made a video about that. Especially after 229 just solidified it for me. It did, and this is the thing that I want. This is what I wanted to say. I wanted to say this live so that everybody who watches our videos can see this, can hear this, because this is the truth. Okay, and I'm not someone who's trained martial art. I trained karate as a kid and won
I
a few
trained
little
wrestling.
medals.
That's about it. So
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But this is the thing. This is the thing. The overhand right is a huge weapon for grapplers, bro.
not
The
even
over-
just for grapplers, but just anybody, but especially those grapplers. Look at Dan Henderson. That inside
yeah,
leg kick with the overhand to a freaking single tap outside single. A single knee
yes,
tap.
yes,
He did it to
yes.
Bisping.
Look at Michael. Yeah, Michael Bisping. Absolutely. Yep. Look at Tyron Woodley.
Well,
You
Woodley's
know
a
what I'm saying?
monster.
I mean, all of these guys are ground fight. These are traditional wrestlers, traditional grapplers. But it just seems like, and then Scott Butters from the UK. He said
Butters
that
is the
the overhand
man.
right. He's absolutely the man. Scott, if you're watching, dude, you're the man.
Shout out
Um,
to Scott.
Absolutely. He said that the overhand right was a big weapon for him early on in his game. So and if you and it's not just the ones that we named. If you look at Stipe Miocic
Yep.
against Francis Ngannou, if you look at Mackenzie Dern versus
Ooh.
Amanda Bobby Cooper. I mean, the overhand right is a huge. Misha Tate against Jessica I mean, that's just a
Yep.
huge.
That was just gonna say that. That was a big punch from Misha there.
Yeah, I mean, and you didn't really see power from Misha like that, but that overhand right was nasty. So, and I had a feeling in going into this fight, Khabib and Conor, that I said I had that feeling. I said Khabib is going to have success on the feet. I feel it coming, and, and
I
then
thought similar. I didn't think he was gonna have success on the feet, but I did think he was gonna catch Connor with a clean shot on the feet and floor him. Connor
I
wouldn't
mean,
expect it, and he
dude,
kind of did.
Khabib swung that overhand right. I mean, it didn't even look like he was about to swing overhand
But,
right.
but
That's
let
the
me
thing that
say
I'm talking
this.
about.
Connor did not look like himself. I'm not sticking up for Connor or anything. Khabib won fair and square, good for him. But that did not look like the Connor we all know, which is partially because of Khabib's takedown threat.
Right, right.
But at the same time, he didn't throw the hands like he normally does. He was kind of wild, trying to get into a brawl, which
Yeah,
still favors Khabib because he can brawl all day on the feet and then he'll just take you down and pound you.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. I mean, I thought Connor looked good. You know what I'm saying? But
I will say
you
this about his ground game. It definitely looks a lot better than it did, but it's just Khabib's ground game is a lot better.
and the thing about Connor's ground game is the Connor simps out there, the people who believe that Connor can do no wrong. You know what I'm saying? They're praising his ground game. Like I'm like, guys,
It's good,
guys,
but it's
guys.
not like
Yes, like he's got good ground game. I'm not taking that away from him, but when you're against a monster like Khabib, I mean that's
it's
a
not you
whole
need.
different.
Yep,
I mean, that's a whole different thing, you know? Like Khabib is not your average,
that dude's an
you know,
animal. He wrestles bears
right.
for fun.
And to be honest, I don't blame Khabib for what he did after 229.
You
If
know,
when
I
someone
blame both
insults
of
you,
them for both of their
yes,
actions.
I can
Connor
see
shouldn't
how
have
you
done the
did
whole
that.
bus thing, but I definitely don't think Khabib should have reacted the way he did after the fight. I think Khabib should have helped him up, gave him a hug, squashed the beef, done and over. I don't really technically blame him for the way he reacted, but at the same time, it's like he should have just let it go.
Yeah. But Khabib, dude, the stuff that Conor said was cutting deep at the press
Props to
conferences.
Dylan Danis though for standing up to Khabib.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. He did. He did. He did. You know,
He
that's
was
a,
not
that's a,
scared.
he was not scared of Khabib. No, he wasn't. But I give him that.
Yep.
But what about Khabib turning down $15 million to fight Conor again?
That's crazy. 15 mil, dude. I would, if I were in Khabib's
15
shoes,
million.
I would say fuck Tony Ferguson, fuck everybody else. I'm gonna fight Connor for that 15 mil and do the same thing again.
Yeah, but
Because
dude,
that was
because
pretty
Tony,
easy for Khabib.
It was very easy for Khabib, and
Yes, Tony earns the shot.
Did he get hit that? He didn't even get
He
hit that
did, but
much.
nothing really serious.
Right, right. And Tony Ferguson is a much bigger threat than Conor McGregor, dude.
You know that. Speaking of Tony Ferguson, I think Tony beats Khabib because of his cardio and his forward pressure. But the fight I really want to see is Conor Tony.
What?
People get mad at me for saying that. It's just Tony gets hit a lot.
But didn't Tony lose to McGregor? No, he did not. No,
He
no,
never, they
no.
never fought. Tony has. I don't. He's on like a 12 fight win streak. Yeah,
that was Max Holloway. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Holloway got wrestled by Conor.
Tony Ferguson, man. See, the thing with Tony Ferguson, he just, dude. I mean,
dude's an animal.
Like I said before, he fought Anthony Pettis. If you let Tony Ferguson get into the fight, then you're out automatically because you have to stop.
You got to pressure him. You can't let him push you.
Right. You got to stop Tony Ferguson early, dude. If you don't stop him
even then,
early,
that's not easy.
No, it's not.
Everybody says, here's my thought. Everyone says he's got a fantastic chin. I disagree completely. He gets floored in every fight.
He said he gets. Brandon said he gets floored in every fight, which is not right.
Pettis floored him. Barbosa's floored him. I mean, but his recovery and his just everything from there is amazing. I will give him 100% credit. It's just, I think if he gets hit cleanly by somebody with a technical striking with the power to back it up, lights out.
Lights out. Okay. All right.
But we haven't seen that yet, so.
Yes, we have not seen that.
Which is why I want to see Conor Tony, because Conor possesses those abilities. And we've seen it time and time again.
Tony has the biggest mouth, man. Like he was, dude. He made surgery. I mean, he made Anthony Pettis quit. And dude,
nothing against Pettis or Tony, but Pettis did have a broken hand. It was hard to fight with a broken hand.
He did.
And if you're going to fight Tony, you got to be 100% healthy.
As soon as they called quits to that fight, I said Tony Ferguson is going to talk until the cows come home at the post fight. I knew it, and that's exactly what he did.
He does. I think Tony. I'm going to say it now. I think Tony beats Khabib.
I think Tony may be a little more suited to beat Khabib than Michael Chandler would be. I just think this is the fight. This is a fight that Tony has wanted and almost had a lot of time. So
what is it, 4 times?
I think that build up is something that is going to favor Tony Ferguson, because every time that fight is scheduled to happen, especially this last time, Khabib has to end up looking past Tony because Tony's no longer his opponent, or vice
versa. Tony in bubble wrap.
Dude, they're gonna have to wrap him in bubble wrap, dude, because that last situation was just a freak accident, man.
And what was it, like 2 days before the fight?
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. And the thing is, he saw Khabib. Like, Khabib saw him fall.
What? Make sure they're nowhere near each other.
Dude, Khabib, so they were across the street from each other, and Khabib seen him fall.
That's nuts.
Like, that was crazy, dude. That was insane. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. Most definitely looking forward to see. I would like to see Conor versus Tony, but I'm more excited. I'm more excited to see Khabib versus Tony, to be honest.
I am right now, just because that's the fight that makes the most sense.
And Tony is. I think Tony's more than ready for Khabib. Like,
I do too.
He's proven over and over that he's ready to fight.
And Tony's not a guy to get emotional or anything.
Right. Exactly.
Here's what I find funny. We all saw Khabib got emotional with Conor. He got real pissed. He got real all emotional. But he charged it in a good way. How often do you see that? Where somebody gets super emotional like that and ends up just going ham.
Yeah, I know. But he stayed pretty composed in the fight. I mean,
definitely.
Besides the shit talking that was later captured on audio.
It was like one or two moments. I think it was like after the second or third round, Conor said, yo, this is just business, and Khabib just like, let's talk now. Let's talk now.
Yeah, yeah. Because Connor was cheating in that fight. I mean, I gotta say, Connor was doing some slick shit.
Oh, he was, but you can't really blame him. You're getting dominated. You got to do something.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're facing a
So,
beast on the ground.
dude, and Khabib Khabib wasn't able. Now, I give Connor props. Khabib wasn't able to beat him up on the ground like he beat up Edson Barboza.
Truth.
Like, like he beat up Edson Barboza real bad on the
And
ground,
so
but
did
he
Kevin
was
Lee.
and Kevin Lee too. Yeah, yeah. And he wasn't able to, Connor neutralized that, of course, by hooking his fingers in his glove, but still, Connor was able to neutralize a lot of that, which I was kind of surprised. And Connor really didn't get beat up too bad, like,
No,
a bunch of
he
other
was
Khabib opponents.
blocking a majority of the shots on the ground. It's just when
Right.
somebody grabs his neck, he like panic taps. And I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit or nothing, but because Connor would beat my fucking ass.
He said he panic taps. He does. It's like, dude, I swear, as soon as somebody touches his neck, dude, he just freaks out. Like everything goes out the window,
He's like,
dude.
I'm done.
Because he didn't even, dude, when he fought Nate Diaz, he didn't even try. Like he didn't even
No,
try to fight the
once the
hands or
neck
nothing.
was, yeah.
That was crazy, man. That was crazy. But I do give Conor props for coming back to the UFC. I do give him that.
Definitely. And nobody thought he would be back.
People like Ronda lost, and Ronda said, "I'm not coming back." So I do give McGregor props for and in a way McGregor won because he still made an ass ton of money off of the fight, and he made an ass ton of money off of the Proper 12 sales. And I must say Proper 12 is pretty good. I have to say.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
And
I have
I
not
hate to
seen it.
I hate to say that, man. As much as that pains me to say, I have to say it. Proper 12 is pretty good. And I'm not even a whiskey drinker. That's the thing, man. But I had to give it a shot. I had to give it a shot. But anyways, off from the Conor and Khabib news, let's move on to one of the next biggest fights that this one's kind of starting off the wave of big fights that I want to talk about tonight. So they finally rebooked Ortega versus Holloway. We've talked about this before, man, but of course the fight didn't
This
happen. But so let's talk about it now that the fight is happening.
definitely another interesting bout to be made because we got Holloway, who's obviously the better striker, but Ortega's got that nasty ground game.
Yeah, he does, man. And
I
it's not just
see
on the
Max
ground.
piecing him up on the feet, to be honest. But if it hits the ground, it's over real quick.
You think so?
Hits the ground, it's over right away. If it
I,
stays on the feet, I see Max winning pretty easily.
See, this is the thing about that. Now, wasn't that Jeremy Stevens that Ortega did the standing guillotine on when he jumped guard while they were standing?
Hmm, I don't remember. I haven't watched too many of Ortega's fights.
I want to say that was Jeremy Stevens.
I watched him versus Moicano, Cub, and Edgar, and that's about it.
It was Cub Swanson. That's who it was.
Yeah, it was
it
Cub.
was
Yep,
it
it
was
was
Cub
Cub
Swanson. Man.
up against the
So
cage. And here's
yeah,
what
so
Cub said about that. He said that was the tightest thing he's ever been in. He's just like, I felt like I was dying.
and someone like Ortega who's a threat like that from any fucking position. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
And
anywhere,
look what
anywhere.
Edgar tried to take him down. The takedown wasn't there, and he ended up getting knocked out because he felt that submission for a split second. He wanted none of it.
Yeah, man. He didn't want any more of that. He didn't more. And Ortega is a fucking monster. He's proven that he's a monster on the feet, like with his striking. I mean, because that uppercut, that Frankie Edgar uppercut was just, it was devastating. devastating uppercut. So, and Ortega is tall, but Max Holloway is taller. So
You know,
I
I
mean,
don't think Ortega's striking is all that great. I just think he's got some power.
yeah, yeah. Just like any other grappler, grapplers tend to have power in their hands for some strange reason. Like I don't know what I don't know what it is, man,
Yeah,
but
I can
grapplers
give
have
you
power.
the same example. Dan Henderson.
Dude, Dan Henderson had unbelievable power, dude, for a striker. I mean, for a grappler. And then you got once again
To
Tyron
me, that's the
Woodley.
first person. Yep,
Like the only
he's obviously
person,
up there as well.
the only grappler I would say that didn't have a lot of power was Damian Maya. You know, and you know, just Damian Maya tired very quickly with strikes, but Tyron Woodley and Mackenzie Dern and you know those grapplers, man. I mean, they will. Whew, like, I
Yeah,
mean, they will. Go ahead.
I didn't say nothing.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, you gotta. You know, these strikers have got to be aware of when they're fighting a grappler, man. Like, you gotta like look at Ryan Bader, man, in Bellator. I mean, Ryan Bader, he knocked out Big Country, dude. I mean, like, bam, knocked him clean out. Like, and Ryan Bader's he's a stiff wrestler, dude. So I'm excited. I'm just excited to see what he's gonna do.
Dominating.
Say what, Brandon? Yo,
Just said that I think he definitely belongs where he's at now.
who? Ryan Bader?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I promise. Because
Yep. Okay.
that's
Yep.
a
Yep.
whole Bellator is just like it's Bellator is like like a train just gaining speed over card after card after card. The train's moving faster and faster, dude. Like, and I never really covered Bellator on this channel, but you know I've been doing a lot of Bellator coverage because Bellator's been popping a lot lately.
You have
So
to start covering Bellator. It's definitely one of the best promotions, if not the second best. Obviously, the best is the
absolutely,
UFC.
absolutely.
Can't really
But
argue.
all the fuckery that goes on in the UFC, you don't see that in Bellator.
You know,
Like,
there is some that goes on, but I don't know how
there's
true
some,
it is.
there's
A
some,
lot of these
yeah, there's some.
undercard fighters say that Bellator can do this, this, and that. Insert stars here.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
apparently these no-name guys that are coming up through Bellator aren't getting paid anything. They're getting paid like hundreds of dollars, and that's it.
Really.
I don't know how true that is. Nobody
Well, see
knows
the
how
thing
true
with
that is.
But see, the thing with Bellator is, you know, Bellator fighters are a lot more amateur, a lot more green. Some of them are a lot
Yes,
more green than what you see in
you
the
see a lot
UFC.
more
So,
guys coming into Bellator like 0-0 or 0-2 or 2-0 versus USC. You got usually an established record,
right, right. So those
which
guys
I'm
from the
all for
UFC is
giving those guys a chance.
absolutely.
But you just
I mean,
have to
that's the
match them
future,
up properly.
right? Absolutely. And I've
Unlike Aaron
interviewed.
Pico, though.
I know, right? That dude's getting paid. But see, I've interviewed a couple of guys. I interviewed one of the Mearns brothers. I Tom and Richard, if y'all are watching, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was Richard Mearns. I want to say whichever one. Anyways, he fights for Bellator, and seems to be pretty happy with the promotion. So,
Well,
you
good
know,
for them. Well, good for both
yeah,
of them.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Um, so we're good. You know, you just don't hear a lot of the disappointments coming from the Bellator people that you see from the UFC. I've interviewed a
And these
lot of UFC
stars are
people.
getting paid.
You said Bellator stars are?
Uh huh. Like
Oh
Rory,
yeah,
he's
dude.
making bank.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting paid. They're getting paid most definitely.
How
You
about
know, but
Rory, though? He got smashed by Gegard.
dude, Gegard Mousasi has definitely found his home at Bellator.
You know, I've always been a fan of Gegard, but I did not. I love Rory and Gegard. Like, I'm a big fan of both. I honestly did not see that fight going the way it did.
Yeah, man. I thought that fight was good. I thought Roy McDonald Roy McDonald has a stiff record. I mean, he's got wins over Tyron Woodley. I mean, he's got some notable wins on his record,
Yeah, and
dude,
he's got
and
some good losses too, like Robbie.
good losses. Robbie Lawler, absolutely.
I'd never
But
think a loss is good, but
that fight was one-sided. Like Gegard Mousasi dominated that fight, dude.
Gegard just jabbed his nose up.
But
Honestly, a lot of people are going to disagree, but I think it's about time Rory hangs it up. His nose is just taking too much damage. He gets hit in the nose and it's broken again.
He's like the male Misha Tate.
That's an interesting comparison.
As far as the nose thing,
Okay, yeah. I would say he's like a smaller Andrei Arlovsky.
Yes, yeah. Oh God, yes. His
That nose is gone.
His nose is
It's
gone.
like a boomerang. Think about it, just shaped like a boomerang.
Yeah, hell yeah. But I mean, but I don't blame Rory McDonald for taking that fight because he had nothing to lose.
Me either. Exactly.
He had nothing to lose.
And all the game.
Yeah, he's already the welterweight champion. So why not step up and fight the middleweight champion and
try to test yourself?
Right, and possibly could become Bellator's first champ.
Yep. You can't say I blame him for trying.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. So I mean, that was a great effort by him. I earned a lot of respect from him because Gegard Mousasi is a fucking beast.
Yep.
So, and like I said, he's found his home, and I think he's hit his prime in Bellator. Like I mean, when he was in the UFC, I didn't think he was hitting his stride like he could, man. But now that he's in Bellator,
he was streaky.
Yeah. Bellator is his home, dude. Most definitely. I want to get to Derek Lewis versus DC, man. I don't like.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'll get back to Bellator.
I don't like this fight, man. I don't like it, dude. And the reason I don't like it is because I just don't think that Derek Lewis should have taken this fight against DC that quickly after just fighting, not even a month ago.
I can't say I don't blame Lewis at all for taking the fight. If I were in his shoes, I'd be taking that fight too.
Yeah.
But on the same side, I don't think Lewis should be fighting DC at all for multiple reasons. I don't think he's quite earned his title shot. And two, I think Stipe still earns a shot before DC and Lewis should fight.
Right. That's what I said too. If there was any fight to make, it should have been the Stipe DC rematch.
And Stipe said he would fight DC no camp. And then DC came back and said, "You're a much harder fight than Lewis. So I don't want to risk anything." I was like, what?
Yeah, he did say that. He straight up
who
said
says something like that?
He straight up said that.
To me, it was basically saying Lewis is an easy fight.
But Lewis is no easy fight for anybody.
No, especially with how Volkov took him lately, and look what happened.
Dude, Alexander Volkov had that fight all but one, dude. He had that fight.
He lost about 30 seconds of the whole fight until that final 10 seconds.
Man. I mean, and Derek Lewis
that but shot,
But see, DC took a huge risk and it paid off by standing in the pocket and trading with Stipe. He took a huge risk doing that. Because Stipe doesn't look like
he could pay off.
Stipe doesn't look like he punches hard, but Stipe knocks motherfuckers out. You know what I'm saying? So
he's definitely got that underrated power. It's not like crazy, but it's there.
Yes. And he took a big risk by standing and trading with Stipe, and it paid off for him.
To me, honestly, DC was looking tired. He was taking big shots, and then Stipe got poked in the eye a few times, and he decided to clinch, and then it was done after that.
Yeah.
You don't clinch with DC unless you're Jones.
But he can't do that against Derek Lewis. Like he can't get in the pocket with Derek Lewis. Like
some people say he can't. Here's what some people think, and I think the opposite. Some people say he can't go for the takedown and he has to stand in the pocket. I think he has to. Well, I don't think he has to, but he should be going for that takedown.
First off,
a calculated takedown.
Because Derek Lewis is really not that good. He's a big He's a big, hefty guy. He's not that good off of his back. He's not flexible. I mean, now Derek Lewis does throw a head kick. Dude, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta make
pretty athletic. He throws some wild kicks.
Dude,
he's got that jumping switch kick and
yeah, dude. Like when Derek Lewis starts throwing those kicks, I'm like, what the hell?
He's fast. He's fast. It's weird to see a heavyweight do that stuff. He looks like a freaking lightweight out there.
Oh yeah, but Derek Lewis off of his back is not that good.
No, like, he's not that. If he gets Marcin Tybura showed that he's not that good off his back, except for Tybura doesn't have that ground game either.
Right. But Derek Lewis lets it be known. He's like, dude, I'm not technical. I'm not this. He's like, I'm
here to knock motherfuckers out.
Yeah, like I'm just a fighter. Like I'm just fighting. Like that's just what I'm doing. Like I'm not technical. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not this. I'm just a fighter. So, you know, he makes it known. You know, he points out his weaknesses. He's not afraid to point out his weaknesses. But you know,
I can't say he's done too bad at it either.
Right, exactly. He's fighting for a title. But DC's got to be. They have to be wary of each other. Derek Lewis has to be wary of the takedown. It looks like Derek Lewis's back is holding up pretty good because Alexander Volkov, that was a war. So it looks like his back is holding up pretty good.
Definitely looks better, but it still needs a lot of work to get better.
Yeah, he still needs some work. So he's looking good on it with his back, but his cardio, but according to some things that I've read, man, they said that. That's all Derek Lewis is training because he's not technical, so he's not training any. He's not training any technique. They said Derek Lewis's training camp for this fight is pure cardio. Like they said, he's not even going to have to cut because like Derek Lewis has to cut from like 300 pounds. So they said, you know, yeah. So they said that his coaches are saying that there's not even going to be a weight cut. Like he's going to be in that kind of shape to where he just
the best shape I've seen Lewis was at that UFC Austin when he fought Tybura.
Oh, let me take my mind. Yeah.
He was lighter on the scale.
Yep, he was. Yep.
I mean, as light as he can be.
Light as he can be. That was a good fight too. That was a really good fight.
That was, dude. He was another fight. That was another close fight. I think that fight was tied 1 round apiece, and he was losing the third before the knockout.
My favorite fight for Derek Lewis was the Travis Brown fight.
No, that kick didn't hurt. I just had to go number 2.
He just said I had to go take a boo boo.
Where's Ronda Rousey's fine ass at?
Dude, Derek Lewis he is my hero for the best post fight.
His posts. You cannot knock him for those. Those are freaking great.
Derek Lewis,
my balls were hot.
He took his shorts off in the middle of the octagon. And then Joe Rogan goes, why'd you take your shorts off? My balls was hot.
And then Rogan's like, I understand, even though he had no idea what he was talking about.
Then he goes, give me a couple of weeks and I'm gonna come smoke some weed with you on your show. I'm like, dude, you got a fight coming up. Well, he didn't know it at that time, but dude, USADA, come on now.
Scheduled, I'm sure. Even though USADA, some people they're very strict for. Even though Dana specifically said you can up till about 2 days before your fight.
You can look
at some other, yeah.
But didn't Cynthia
Cup coming from Dana's mouth? Yes, she got popped for like 6 months suspension, which I mean is a normal in between fights. But at the same time, it's like, what? You're gonna label somebody for doing that? It does not enhance your performance or anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a performance. It's not a PED.
Not at all.
Not at all.
All it does is make you just want to relax and eat some food.
Dude, I'm telling you, I swear to God, I feel like Karolina Kowalkiewicz smokes a joint before she comes to the octagon. Nobody is that.
She's just chilling up against the cage.
Dude, nobody is that calm before a fight. Like,
even against that monster Andrade, she's like, whatever.
Yeah, dude, but I still respect Kovalevich for that fight, dude.
Oh
And
yeah,
this is
she
why
came.
this is
She took some shots and she still kept throwing back.
dude, she kept coming forward and was
She landed a
landing.
few nice shots.
Yes,
Yes,
she did. She did. So, dude, my respect for Kovalevich went through the roof. Even though she got knocked out, dude, I was like, okay, I still respect her because Jessica Andrade is a fucking weight bully. And you know what I'm saying?
yes, she
And
is
she is,
definitely
dude.
a bully.
Yes, she's a weight bully and she's beating
She
up
should
on
definitely
strawweight.
be a. I don't think she should be at strawweight. I think she should be at 125. She was very
I think
undersized at 135, but huge at 115.
I think she should fight Mackenzie Dern.
At
I'm just saying,
125,
man.
let's do it. Sign me up.
Dude, I'm telling I would love to see Mackenzie Dern fight Jessica Andrade. I would just
It's
love to
whoever
see
gets
that
hit
fight.
first.
Who's going down first? Like
Yep.
I'm telling you, dude, I would love to see that fight, dude. That's one of my dream fights to see. But anyways, hold on. I'm gonna go to wait a minute. Jones versus Gustafsson. Woo!
That fight.
That,
I think Jones is gonna destroy Gus. He's gonna obliterate
what?
Gus and leave him a bloody mess. Jones
What?
TKO by round 4. Jones, when he fought Gus the first time and DC the first time, he did not train at all. He didn't care. Look what happened to DC the second time they fought when Jones took training seriously. And
Yeah.
there are sources inside Jackson Wink saying Jones is training heavy, taking things serious, and he wants to be the champion again.
Yeah, but look at the fight with him and Alex, though.
Oh yeah, but that look what I said is when Jones didn't really train a whole lot.
Yeah, that's
He was
true.
partying all the time.
Snorting cocaine, but Alex Gustafson hadn't fought in a while too. It's been a while since he fought.
Gus has not. Oh, yeah, he just fought Glover, but that was a while ago.
That
And
was a long time ago.
that was like
What,
last
2016?
summer.
Was it
I think it was
2017?
17. I think it was 17. I think it was
It's been a
the
while,
summer of 2017. And then he was scheduled to fight Volkan Ozdemir, which I really wanted to see, and then he got hurt.
dude. He would have fucked Ozdemir up.
I think Ozdemir would have KO'd him.
What,
I just don't see the hype around Gus.
dude?
I think Ozdemir would have been the next champ if Jones hadn't come back.
That's a
And now
stiff statement.
nobody will see that title because Jones is back.
So do you think that DC will, after DC fights Lewis or fights whoever he's gonna finish fighting at heavyweight? Do you think he'll come back down, and do you think that John Jones will be the champ
I do
to
think he
fight
will be the
DC
champ,
again?
and I do see that fight. I don't see the fight happening, even though they both said they wanted it. Jones said he wanted it at heavyweight, but Lewis and then DC said it was going to be at light heavyweight. He said he wants that fight to happen, but he's supposed to fight Lewis, and then he's supposed to fight Brock. If this fight even happens with Brock.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, that got. I think
Brock
that got
never
pushed
received a
to-
contract.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think that fight was going to happen
Dana
anyway.
said it was next, and then all of a sudden he never received a contract. I think Brock does still come back and fights, but I don't think he will fight DC. I think DC will be either fighting Jones or be retired by that time.
Well, do you think Lewis is his last fight at heavyweight?
I think he's either got. Who else is he going to fight besides Lewis? I mean, he could fight Stipe again, but I don't think that fight will happen because he knows how dangerous Stipe is.
Right.
I think he wants to go out on a couple of easier fights and retire undamaged and a happy, wealthy man.
I don't think he wants to fight John Jones again.
He says he does, but I don't think he really does because deep down he knows he lost both. And he can say all the steroid accusations he wants, but
Yeah,
The
man, he
kick does
lost
not
that
take
fight.
steroids to do.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I give you that. So go ahead.
What's your take on that fight?
On Jones DC3.
And then Jones Gus.
I see Gus taking a page out of his last fight with Jones, because his last fight with Jones was razor close.
That was
Like,
pretty close.
that was a razor close fight, and Gus could have won. I think people would have been okay if Gus would have won that fight. So, I think he'll take a page out of his last fight with DC. I mean, with Jones, and he'll just try to replicate what. I mean, he had been much more active than John Jones, but he's been, John Jones hadn't been active at all, and I think that Gus has maybe had one or two fights since he fought John Jones. Well, maybe a little bit more than that.
Wow, see, he fought Jones on what was that, 2015?
Yes, and then he
I think
fought
he fought
DC.
DC. He fought Glover. Who I don't know if he. I think that's it. But he. No, I think he fought Jan Blachowicz, DC,
Okay,
and Glover. I could be wrong. I know he fought Jan in the Germany card a while back.
okay, I'm
Let me
looking it
see if
up.
I can find. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say. I know he fought Jan, but I don't know if that was after the Jones fight and before or after the DC fight. He's got most. He's got 3-4 fights after the Jones fight.
Yeah,
Jones only
so he
has
hadn't
like
really.
two himself though too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He fought
He
Open
fought
St. Prude,
OSP. Yep.
and then he fought DC. So that was it. Let me see. Let me look up Gus's record. Okay, yeah. So, oh well, okay. He beat Jimmy Manuwa after John Jones.
Okay.
And then he lost to Anthony Johnson, lost to DC, then he won against Jan Blankovic, and then he won against Glover Teixeira. So
Okay. Yeah. So he's
Gus
been a
has been
little more
active.
active.
Yeah, he's
It
been
just doesn't
active.
seem like he's been active. It's just because that Jones fight was so long ago.
Right. And
What was
see,
that? 2014, 2015.
the fight with John Jones was 2013.
Wow.
Yeah,
Already
it's been that
five
long ago.
years.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And then the fight with DC was 2015. And then the Jan
Wow.
Blankovic fight the Jan Blankovic fight was 2016, and Glover Teixeira was 2017. So yeah. So I mean
Wow.
he
A
hadn't really
fight a
been
year.
active. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Alex. So um once again, I just think Alex will take a page out of the old fight and try to replicate what he did, because if he can do what he did with just a little more, he can beat John Jones. But then again, that now that we just discovered, that was 5 years ago.
It was five
So
years ago. Jones is, I think he's younger than Gus. That's
yes.
it's still an interesting fight because Gus is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
I do think if Jones has his head in the right place, he destroys him. But if he's still at his old ways, I could care less. I do not want to see Jones fight again, win and get suspended again.
Yeah, like that's the thing with me. Like it's hard to rally around John Jones,
Because every
because
time he does something good, he gets suspended.
right, right, right. So if I was pulling for somebody in that fight, I'd have to pull for Alex, because Alex has done nothing wrong. He's a clean fighter. He's an honest fighter, and I'm gonna roll with that before I roll with anything else. So it is what it is. But hey, it's gonna be a great fight, no matter who I'm rooting for. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy for it to be happening. So,
Oh,
and
definitely.
John Jones took a fight pretty quickly after coming off a suspension too, which is kind of shocking.
He wanted to get back in there right away,
Yeah, he took
which I
that
think
fight.
is the best thing for him. And at
Yeah,
good competition.
and I'm happy that they didn't give him a title shot either. Like, no,
I
don't give
think
him
it
a
is a
title
title
shot.
shot. I think it is. Winner gets the title. I think
No,
DC's forced to vacate.
I'm glad they didn't give him a top. Oh, is that what this is, or is it for an interim belt?
I think it's for a real title, and DC's forced to vacate. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I think it is.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna have to definitely look that up. It's exciting to see what happens after that fight too, depending on the winner. Because if John Jones fights, then of course they're gonna try to make the DC John Jones. They're gonna try to make DC go back down to 205 and fight, which I wouldn't mind seeing that again. But if Alex wins,
We could see DC
I would
Gus too.
Yeah, DC Gus too. That'd be good to see. I'm good with that.
Right, I'm down. Gus had DC in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he did. He did, dude. And Alex is big and long like John Jones. I think that was John Jones's biggest problem in that fight was Alex's size. Because it's very similar to his own. You know? He's used to fighting guys that reach disadvantage because John Jones is like he's longer than Anderson Silva. So, I think that was his biggest weakness in that fight was that Alex was big and long, just like he was. And Alex is pretty technical too, so
He
it was
can
kind of
be.
like it was like they were kind of fighting themselves in a way. You know what I'm saying? It was like they kind of canceled each other out. So and they both took a lot of damage in that fight.
They definitely did not
That
leave healthy.
that was the most beat up I think I've ever seen John Jones.
That fight and then the Glover fight were probably his two most damaging
Yeah,
fights.
the Glover fight. Yep, I forgot
He
about the
didn't
Glover
take too
fight.
much
Yep.
damage versus DC. It was close, but he didn't take much
Especially in the
damage.
second fight. Like in the second fight,
It
DC was
wasn't that
landing
close,
some.
to be honest.
So
Second fight
what?
was a lot closer. Second fight was a lot closer. That's what I was thinking of. That first fight wasn't that close.
No, no. The first fight
It was
was
like
one
49,
sided.
46.
Yeah, he got beat up. DC got beat up. But that was my last UFC topic. I want to jump back to the heavyweight Grand Prix and welterweight Grand Prix for Bellator real quick. So Ryan Bader beats Matt Mitrione, which kind of shocked me a little bit.
You know,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
had a gut feeling that Bader would do that, but I didn't think he would be able to because Mitrione being a former NFL player and because of his size.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Matt
didn't matter
Mitrione's a
though.
big. He's a
He's
big
athletic
man.
too. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Quick, athletic, strong.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that leaves Fedor and Fedor just make what do you think about this Chael Sonnen and Fedor fight?
A lot of people aren't going to like my comment, but I do think that fight was fixed. We've seen it before we have seen it before with Bellator and rumors that fights were fixed. Chael Tito, Shamrock, and Hoist Gracie. Because Chael made Tito tap and the ref never caught it, and Chael tapped to Tito, and yeah.
It's like Chael had good position and he just gave it up. Like,
yeah, he had the back, and all of a sudden he just flips over him. I'm like, what are you doing?
I was like, what the hell is Chael Sonnen doing? It was crazy. It was crazy, dude. But Fedor Emelianenko is a beast. He's possibly the GOAT. So, him. But I just believe that this is Ryan Bader's fight, man.
I definitely agree with Chael's point. He said, "I laid the path to beat Fedor." That double leg up against, just blast double up against the cage, pick his legs out, scoop him. He's on his back. And I definitely think Bader's the better wrestler than Chael.
Right. That's why.
As long as Bader doesn't get hit, because Fedor still got them hands.
Yeah, he does. He does. I think Ryan Bader won't take any chances against Fedor.
I think he's going to just come in, jab, double leg.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. I think he's just going to come straight in and he's going to do a Khabib. He's going to dive for the legs right away, And I think that's what he should do because, Ryan Bader's got hands, but he's a wrestler.
Yes, that's his. Yes.
He would have to land something like an overhand right.
What was he, an NCAA All-American for Arizona State?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's an accomplished wrestler.
He's
So
not just a grappler; he's a accomplished wrestler.
right, exactly. That's the point. That's my point I'm trying to make, man. Like, you know, how and his if you look at Ryan Bader's body, like if you look at his physicality, dude, like this guy is an athlete. Like Fedor Emelianenko is a fighter. Ryan Bader is an athlete.
Yup.
So yeah, you know, what I mean, he's got the body for it. He's a chiseled heavyweight. He looks great at heavyweight, you know, and he's trying to become he's trying to become Bellator's first champ. So he could possibly, if he beats Fedor Emelianenko, he's the champ. So this is gonna be a good fight. This is gonna be a good fight, and I can't wait to fucking see it. Bellator is gonna put on a damn good card. You know what I'm saying? The undercard is going to be fucking amazing, and this is going to be a great fight. I'm telling you, I know it's going to be a great fight. So
Definitely will be.
who's your
I think Bader wins a decision.
I think Bader wins his decision too. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I think Fader knows what he's doing on the ground enough to not get beat. Bad.
That's exactly what I was going to say. All right, so moving on to the welterweight Grand Prix. I know you. I know you want. I know you want to talk about that.
I do. I got an underdog pick. A lot of people don't see it, but I think he got the right side of the bracket with Rory on it. I didn't think that at first, but now I do. Ed Ruth. I think Ed Ruth has what it takes. If he can stay away from I mean, he's not a bad striker. It's definitely improving, but it's just same with Bader. It's his wrestling. That's where it's at. I think he can take Rory down and hold him there. That's if he can get the takedown. Man. If he gets a takedown. If it stays on the feet, Rory beats him up.
Yeah,
but for sure, I don't see him beat. I don't see him having any issues with naming Gracie though. The Gracies are known for their slick jiu-jitsu, and most of the time, wrestling beats jiu-jitsu. Not trying to hate on jiu-jitsu or anything.
Right.
It's just proven the dominant position versus like a scramble to catch something quick.
Yeah, man. I just think Rory McDonald, man. I think this is his last hurrah. Like I think
Definitely.
that if Rory
I think it's either Rory or Ed Ruth that win the tournament.
I think if Rory wins this tournament, he retires.
I wouldn't mind seeing Lima win it.
I wouldn't mind seeing them win it either. You know, I mean that would be nice to see him win, but could he beat Rory McDonald though?
That's definitely. We saw it last time. He did win a few rounds.
Yeah. But can he beat Rory McDonald?
Exactly. And then we got Daly versus MVP. I'm hoping Paul Daly knocks MVP out, but I do not see it.
I don't see it either, dude. I hope he does too. But
I'm not a big fan of either, but
MVP, dude, you gotta give him his props. He's nasty.
Like, yes, definitely.
He's a potential star for Bellator. He's a potential big star for Bellator.
David Rickles himself said that man inside the cage is so hard to figure out.
Yeah.
He is so long and it's hard to find your own range.
MVP versus Tyron Woodley.
I think Woodley just because of wrestling.
What a fight.
The wrestling, man. I just don't know how MVP's wrestling is. I never really got to watch the Cyborg Santos fight. I watched the finish.
Yeah.
I never really got to watch the whole fight. And I heard he was kind of getting grappled the hell out of in that fight.
Yeah.
I don't know that for sure. That's just what I heard.
Yeah, he was getting out grappled in that fight. Cyborg Santos was on him that fight. But, you know.
Doesn't matter. He got a skull crushed in.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we know how that fight ended.
Ooh. I honestly am looking forward to seeing, because I'm not going to guarantee it, but I really do think MVP beats Daly and then Lima versus MVP. That's going to be a good fight because that'll be his toughest test.
Yeah, man. I'm going to try to snag some of these Bellator interviews. I I still got
Definitely.
my
Bellator has definitely got some guys who are down for interviews. I got one for you if you can try. I've tried. My schedule never matched up with him, but the new he's not really a newcomer. He's fought once with Bellator, but he calls himself the daddy of Bellator. Fabian Edwards. Fabian Edwards, dude, he's super chill, but he's super confident in his abilities, and he says Gegard's only okay. He's definitely one to get on for an interview. I recommend trying to get him. I
Yeah, I'm
My
gonna have to reach
schedule
out
just
to
never
him.
matched up with him.
I'm gonna try to. I'll reach out to him, the assassin. Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
good guy. He's super chill.
I'll definitely. He's a UK prospect too. So,
Yep.
the UK dude, I'm telling you, dude, there's something about the guys from the UK. Shout out to Tom and Richard Mearns. Shout out to Scott Butters, man. Those guys are always down to do interviews, which is I don't know what it is about the UK guys. So Fabian Edwards, if you're listening, bro, I'm gonna reach out to you, man. But I do have I still have Dakota Zimmerman coming up. She has some things that she had to take care of, so our schedules kind of fell off a little bit. But Dakota Zimmerman, guys, if you guys remember her, she made her Bellator and MMA debut against Kerry Melendez a few weeks back. She lost a split decision to Kerry Melendez in her MMA and her Bellator debut. So this girl has a lot of promise. She's a very good fighter, very talented fighter, and she's only a BJJ white belt. You know,
Wow,
and yeah, she's a BJJ white belt and took
that's
Kerry
a lot of
Melendez to a
work.
split decision. Absolutely, she's got a lot of work ahead of her, dude. But for her to be at the level that she's at now and as a white belt, I mean, imagine the potential. So, I'm definitely going to get that interview. I'm going to try to reach out to Fabian Edwards. Got a couple more things lined up. I got a big one I'm really working on, and that's Kat Zingano.
That would be a
So,
nice one. Yeah, I'm definitely
absolutely.
working on some things as well. Not doing so hot lately. It seems people are just doing the whole agree to it in the bail. I'm not gonna.
Man,
I'm
that is
not
the
gonna.
worst thing
I'm
ever.
not gonna say any names because I'm gonna be professional.
Hey,
Much as I
hey,
want to.
fighters, if you're listening to us, please don't tell us you want to do an interview and then have us announce that
Like, just give
interview.
us a simple no, or
Yes, thank you. A simple no would
you're
be like,
you're a
I'll be like,
professional
okay,
too.
exactly. Like, dude, I've had so many fighters bail,
It
fighters
gets
bail all the
you get
time.
used to it, but it's at the same time it's kind of annoying and frustrating,
It's very annoying and very frustrating.
especially the
But
bigger guys that you get.
I know, man. I'm not gonna name. I've had some big fighters bail, but it's all
So,
good.
so I will
I
say a
talked.
name that I really appreciate: Zach Atau from Wisconsin. He fights out of Madison, I believe. He
Mhm.
fought Sage Northcutt not too long ago. He lost.
Yep.
He had, I think he said he had a staph infection or something. Got real sick. No excuses, but he lost. He gassed out, and he's never gassed out like that in his career. Lost to Sage, looking to move on. I just ran into him at a show the other night, and he remembered who I was from an interview. Just a small little interview on a group in Facebook, and he remembered who I was.
That was probably awesome as hell.
It was. 'Cause I ran into him because he's a co-promoter or something with the show, and I went up to
Hmm.
him to ask him a question, and he knew exactly who I was right away. Said he remembered me. It means a lot when you get fighters who are willing to do more than once, who remember who you are.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing that's pretty awesome about the fights, I mean, about the interviewing the fighters too, is and this is very small, but when they communicate with you like on the videos, like like I do YouTube videos, and to go back and see their comments and to see them share this video, and
Yep.
it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling to interview people because you watch them on TV and then you
Usually, yep.
communicate with them and then you get an interview with them, and it's like you kind of starstruck, but you got to hold it together. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's definitely, and I
Usually,
have
I
no,
throw out a post before. They'll share that or comment on that. We'll do
yeah,
it, and then they'll usually have somebody in their family or something close if they're busy. Just do the
absolutely,
same thing. Like I just
absolutely,
interviewed Jared Gordon, for example. I
absolutely. I was
shared a
there for it.
post. He shared the post back. He shared the interview after it was done. He commented back. He was very interactive. I shared it to Twitter. He retweeted it.
Yeah, that's what you live for, man. That's the small rewards you
It
get
is.
from
We may
doing
not be
interviews.
like Ariel Hawani or anything, but it
Right.
is nice to see some of these guys do that
Right.
for you.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's just those small rewards is what this is all about, man. So, and
Exactly. It's
and
definitely a
guys, we love
good
doing
way
this.
to do it.
Guys, you everybody watching, you guys have to go catch some of Brandon's interviews. Go join the Facebook group MMA Freaks. It is a very huge group, 20,000 plus members in this group, and that's all we do all day long is argue, fuss, and cuss MMA. So, if you want to get your if you want to get your MMA talk on, get your thumbs ready and go subscribe and follow MMA Freaks because those guys are awesome in there. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Brady. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to all those guys. You know, I mean,
Definitely for the fighters that we have admins, go follow Iron Mike Barnett and Justin Osborne.
absolutely,
Iron Mike is one of the best unsigned pros that the UFC does not have. Check him out, definitely. And
and he's
Justin just
very
made his pro debut not too long ago, and he won, so good for him.
Iron Mike is very open. Like he always he always calls me out when he thinks I'm wrong. Like me and Mike go back and forth so much on
He's a
this
good
group,
guy. I
man.
love Mike.
he,
He's not
he
afraid to
always gets
say
me.
anything. No, he's I believe he's a police officer in Alabama.
Uh-huh. Yep. And he's
That's a
always
side
calling
job.
me out. He always makes it a point to call me out.
Definitely sounds like something he would do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, guys, that's
Mike
all
and
we got
Justin are
for the.
great guys, and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so, once again, guys, shout out to MMA Freaks. Also, even though Taylor's not here with us tonight, still want to shout out One Up MMA. Those guys are always mentioning us in their articles.
he's got
They're
some
always
great
showing love.
articles.
Absolutely great articles, guys. Go look up One Up MMA. But that's all we got tonight, guys. Just want to throw some content out there. Collaborating with MMA Freaks is awesome. Brandon always brings the fire. Guys, we try to put on good shows for you and keep this thing rolling. Brandon, you got anything else you want to say, man?
No, just appreciate you having me on, and for anybody who is not tuned into this channel or just tuning in, make sure to keep following it.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're doing the best we can, guys. All
Appreciate you
right,
having
man.
me
Well,
on, dude.
absolutely. Well, we are out, man, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Don't forget hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we are out.
Peace.
Peace.